Life at 40. What is life at 40? Many times we say life begins at 40. What does life begin at 40 mean? Many people think life begin at 40 is when you are 40 years. It's when you are 40 years. Jesus fasted for 40 years, 40 days. Jesus fasted for 40 days. It took 40 days for children of Israel, or 40 years to live in the desert, I think, after they were delivered from Pharaoh. It was 40 years they live in the desert. We say that the days of Aviv are 40 days. 40, every time you hear 40, life begins at 40. Many people think it's 40 years and above. But in essence, life at 40 is life at 40 can be at the time you are 20 years, 25 years, 35 years, 37 years, 50 years. It is when you start being accountable of yourself. You know that unless I clean this house, nobody will clean it. Unless I pay this debt, nobody will pay it. Unless I know how I'm going to pay this mortgage, this house will go. Unless I pay this car, nobody will pay it. And it's going to go with those I hire purchase it, where I bought it. It's life at 40 is where you take responsibility and accountable for yourself. In our growth years, especially where we grew in a very comfort zone, very highly protected fortress of comfort. Because we live under parents from grade 1 to university. You are given pocket money all the time. You are given school fees. Everything you are given to you. When you go to university, you are given the boom money by government. You are given a loan by government. And people are so, university have a lot of money. Even today, bursary money. Life is easy. And it's only a mission, go to meet with the friends. Life at 40. This is life at 40. What does life at 40 mean? We fall most of the time when we reach life at 40 because we lack leadership skills. Everyone is a leader. We are all leaders in this world. You are a leader. We lack leadership skills. When we begin life at 40, this is the time we start with intimate connection with the people. For example, your wife, your husband, your in-law in your house. You have in your house sibling who finished grade 12 living in your house, and you have a spouse and children. You have in your house in-laws who are waiting to get a job in the city. They came from the country because you are blessed yourself. You have a job, you live in the city. They camp in your house, in-law, maybe in-law with his wife, or even a cousin, a brother, a small brother. And this time they're in the city, in your house looking for a job. And we don't have leadership skill. Everybody who trained to be a leader, and they are going to be taught how to lead people, like a manager, a principal. They are taught about how to relate and relationship. Because in office, somebody will come in the morning to bring backbiting information. For example, popular sanguine are people who talk anyhow, and they talk and they knock down at your office as the boss to tell you what the other worker was doing. There are people who are perfect choleric, who become manager. There are people who are principal phlegmatic. They will never talk unless you ask them something. We have melancholic. We have people who talk too much, others they don't talk. We have people who can step on you anytime by telling you they're not sensitive. They like bulldozer. You know, bulldozer can uproot any tree. They pass over you without care. The Bible says in Isaiah chapter 51 verse 23, there are some people who walk over you and say, sleep down, we walk on you. Sleep prostrate, we walk on you. They don't care. They step on you. There are people who rejoice when you're suffering. There are people who you are walking on the road and they start on the road. They start telling you, do you remember another story? And they are standing, and under where you are standing, there is a lot of termites. The idea he wants to see you eaten by termites. And they start laughing. There are people, because he tried to cheat you, and you start where time is there, and you start being eaten, and they start laughing. There are some people who rejoice when they pain you and make you suffer. So we fall most of the time at a critical stage of life at 40 because of the connection. When you start connecting with the people, intimacy, because when you're under parent, yes, we are connecting, but we are not responsible of anything. We didn't have accountability of anything. We are not accountable. The current method of education is about inquiry-based learning, where students are given materials, students are given something to do, and they are not told how to do it. They are told how they need to go from point A to B, but they are not told the roadmap. Where is the direction? Where is which side are you gonna go? They are not told how they're gonna do something. They are told, find out the material you're gonna use, find out the method you're gonna use, plan, do the planning. Just like project, you see many jobs advertising project manager, case manager. You are given materials. You're not given even material. You have to find out material to use. You have to find out how you're gonna plan it, how you're gonna do it. Why is the education changing this way? And even before, when we are being taught how to teach, and every time school, an educator, they encourage to use learning by doing. We're letting the student do it. Why? Because when you explain, passive learnings have been found to be having a very low retention skills, where we used to sit all the day, 1 hour listening to a teacher. You don't get anything because you are thinking about how we're gonna, which clothes will I wear on my brother's wedding next Sunday. I'm feeling hungry. I think I'm gonna buy a meat pie in a canteen, school canteen, and the teacher is still talking in front. You are thinking of how you're gonna go and prepare for the Sunday service and how you're gonna play instrument in the church because you are the main instrument player, and is the teacher is still teaching. That means when you are being lectured in front, I'm told your brain is passive. It's not doing anything. Your hands are not doing anything. We are taught to have had motor skill. You're not doing anything with your hand. It's when you told connect battery like this. Do this experiment. Do experiment yourself. Put this in water. You do it everything by yourself, but not when you are watching. When you are watching, not the same as when you're doing. So that method where you are being told, if, for example, if you can be told do something, you are shown something. It's not as when you do it. You can see the trainer showing you, and then you have to do it. Then you wonder, how did he do here? Because you didn't do it, you don't understand it. You don't understand, because learning by doing is what is effective than when you are being told what to do, or shown what to do, or being explained how to do something. It's not as when you do it. So the current education insists on inquiry based. When you are given things, you're told you need to do something, and you have to plan for it. Find the material you're gonna use. Find how you're gonna evaluate whether what worked well, what didn't work well. What can you do to improve and evaluate yourself? Why are the education all the time emphasizing people to do, and the teacher be facilitator? Why is it the many education say teacher be facilitator, not to be active, but student be active? Because the idea is to make people independent, to be able to plan, people to be able to be accountable, to take responsibility, to be able to know they are accountable of what they are doing. And they need to explain, did I achieve what I was doing? Why I did not achieve? Next time, what do I need to do to achieve? This makes somebody active. The reason we fall in life at 40, because we were not oriented to those kind of like inquiry-based living. Parents were doing everything for us. Also, you don't experience what they see. They were cousin in your home, they were in-laws, but you didn't know what your parents were going through between them. The correlation. Your brother is always sitting on chairs. People have nowhere to sit. Your sister is learning here like he's home, and I'm here, I'm the owner. You don't see what they see, how they correct our mother and your father. Then when we do it, we fall because we were passive, because we don't see. But when we do it ourselves, we see parents living okay, but we don't see what they feel. We don't feel what they feel, because life at 40 is when you start connecting with the people. in an intimate way, connecting and relate with people where, and you are responsible of that homestead. You are not about leadership, because everyone is a leader. Because when you talk of leaders, it's training people how to people behave. How do you connect and create cohesion in an environment where we have a rabbit, we have a lion, we have a leopard, we have a tiger, we have a sheep? How do you connect all of them to have cohesion and live in harmony? This is what is called leadership. And in your home now, you are there as the head of the home, or the mother of the home, or husband of the home. There is in-law in your house. There is your wife here. Even if there is nobody, even your spouse is somebody you're managing, or you're managing each other. It is in a time where before you used to wear a cloth and nobody asked you. Now you wear a blue shirt, you're told, no, wear green. This is not good. It's like when there's parliament, a motion. For it to pass through, people have to come and consensus, and sometimes they have to do voting. The same is in a home. We connected with the people whom we have to decide together. And we fall at life at 40 because we don't have those skills, leadership skill, of relational skills, of how people behave, understanding that people are not created the same, understanding that people reason according to which environment they were oriented to. That's why we need to put our children in a good environment where they tap the right values, virtues, and skill and moral values, because what they experience in life is what they give in future. We say in a computer, what you see in the computer screen is what is printed out. What you orient your kids to, what environment, if you are putting them in a place where people are drinking, smoking, partying, they will do the same when they grow. If you put children all the time in Sunday school, they go to youth event, developmental youth event, church conferences, and sport, they always do the same when they grow. It is the environment we put the children in. Even the people, when they grow, that even when they transfer those things to where they go to work, who they gonna marry, who they gonna relate. So we don't know when we are going to manage a home. We train to be a doctor for 16 years or maybe 20 years, because you start from grade 1 university, a secondary college, university, to be a doctor of a heart surgeon. But we don't train how to manage our own home, how to manage and live in a home. We just enter without skill, not knowing that people are created different. Not everyone will behave the way you want, and this brings a lot of problem. Somebody may do something that is that can crash your life, and many people have gone to damaging themselves and doing bad things because of not understanding that people are created in a very distinctive way depending on where they grow. Most people, they do how they were seeing their mother doing, their father doing. If they were fighting every day, they start fighting. That's why we need to put our children in a very good environment so they behave good in future. The people you see them leading the country, managing big company, being favored and appointed as leaders, they are people who grew in a very good environment because they grew with a heart of parent and balanced parental love. The Bible says, Luke 2:52, and Jesus grew in stature and wisdom, pleasing men and God, because he had a favor of God and men, because he was reared by both Joseph and Mary, and he had a go ahead of Jesus. It is the people who have balanced parental love that become successful in life. Because why? They grow normally. They grow as normal human beings. Look at people, students or kids who grow in dysfunctional family. They are very disturbance in school. They become problem in the law, burden to the government. They become depending on government money. Because most of them, not of them, they are people who are genuine in problem, and they are people who become burden, problem to the law, and all that problem to the educator, to school, because of this functional living. It is because of how they grew. And life at 40 is where we fall, because we hook to those children who grew in a dysfunctional family. You marry somebody who grew in a dysfunctional family, and then he didn't see that normality of life. His behavior and the output he give you is all out of praise, because he didn't live in praise living. He live in out of praise, or he grew in an environment where your people, they call blue, but their country, the culture where he came from, the family, they call blue green. Then you don't understand, and it become a big problem. We fall. This is life at 40. Where do we fall at life at 40? When we are taking responsibility, accountability, and when we know it is only me who pay this mortgage, it's me managing these people in my house. Where do we fall? Somebody, your wife or your husband, behave in a funny way when your parents are there, or when your sibling are there, or her sibling are there, because we do not, and we didn't see them growing. Where do we fall? Because we don't have, there is a gap between how he is reasoning, where he came from, how he grew, what he was oriented to, so there's somebody who believe unless he fight, he can't be happy. There's somebody believe unless he make you pain, he can't be happy. Everybody have survival skill to survive. Everyone has survival skill. Everyone has, even the little kids. A little kids, everyone who have kids, the kids, you give the kids milk. Say, finish that milk and sleep. He sleep just very small because you want to buy time and stay. And the kids may start telling you a story. The kids, to avoid, everyone has some, even little kids, he tell you, you tell her sleep, I say, I need water. Go sleep. No, daddy, I need water. And then he take water, drink very slowly. Survival skill. I don't want to sleep. And to cheat daddy or mommy is to tell him I need water or milk. Especially the kids say, I need milk. To buy time. Everybody has survival skill. And some people, survival skill collide with it. You don't understand. They are trying to survive. And some scared to survive. They scare you. If they need attention from you, they do some things that help them to live and continue living. They want to get attention. You see somebody climbing a very big post to get attention of the government because his plea and his right are not answered, and his wish are not answered. These survival skills, they collide and bring problem and make us people quarrel in a home, because what somebody uses to survive is a problem to you, and you don't understand is his survival skill. Somebody can even scare you in that you fear, and he is actually fearing. Somebody can maybe hide or rock phone from you. Another one can hit the child just to find attention from you. Everyone has survival skill to buy time or to get attention. So we fall at life at 40 because we do not understand where people are coming from, how they grew, how they came from, and we need to teach our people and our students and our kids and future families, future people who are taking responsibility in their home, in their job, in everything they are managing, whether it's a family. When you are managing your family, you are a leader, how to relate with the people and leadership skill, because these are the ones that make us fall down. Because we don't train how to be leaders. Because we collide, because this is life at 40. We fall at life at 40 because of intimate relationship, intimate connection with husband, spouse, wife, sibling, people living in your home, your brother to your wife, sister to your husband, parent of your husband, parent of your wife, in a way that how you grew is different with how they reason. The way you reason differently. We fall because we are connected with the people who have different background and they behave differently, and also there is a gap between you and them and how they talk. When you see your husband talking with your parent, you think they are planning against you, and this is the intimate things that make us fall. And the end result is our children's future is in ruin. And the devil take advantage and we suffer. And the children's future is destroyed. Because the devil, to destroy future, is to destroy the children. Is to destroy marriages, to make sure marriage doesn't work. That way our children live in a dysfunctional living where they don't tap values that will help them to be useful resources in their marriage, in their house, in their job, in wherever they're gonna go. The devil wanna destroy the future. And to destroy the future is to destroy marriages and families. Every time we are making a decision to make a relationship, we must know people behave different. We must know not everyone is your key of life. God has kept us one person to be our key. Like Paul was a key for Peter. He was driving him and showing him the right way. But Penina was not the right key for Hannah. He was degrading him at the point he needed support. Delilah was not the right key for Samson. He was pretending he loved Samson, whereas on the other hand, he wanna destroy and steal his secret of God. Joseph's brothers were not the right lifters and builders for Joseph. He was sharing them something good he was taught by God, and they were against him. Everyone in this world, we have one person who is our right key as a Joshua to cross us in the successful highway of life and in the next life after death. We fall because also another decision we make at life at 40 is hooking to long keys. These keys, many people are married to many people. Many people have children and even 10 children, but they married wrong people and they live in time of their life. They didn't understand. They were seeing education. I want to marry somebody in abroad. I want somebody educated. I want somebody who is preaching very well, but it's not preaching that go to the house. It's somebody who will allow you to go and play tennis and no problem. Somebody who will allow you to talk to your boss at work and home, not to take the phone and hit the ground. Somebody who allow you especially to do what you do at your best and those things that originate and spark your life propensity and well-being of life. For example, you like playing soccer. You like to have a club of footy to build your well-being. You need to go for evening walk. You need to play music. You need to record song. There's somebody who will allow you to do what originate your life drive and every day a motivation. We only have one key. One person, and we make a decision in life at 40, marrying wrong people who are not our keys. Another thing is choosing wrong career. You are a social worker and you want to be a teacher. You are a doctor and you want to be an engineer. This is life at 40, which begin when we start taking responsibility, accountability. We take responsibility, accountability, management. We are managing a company, which is our family, which is full of children, in-laws, parents. We are managing with zero skills. We are managing with the wrong key that you came to your life. This is life after 40. We fall because of critical decision making at life at 40. The key you choose, your life spouse, the career you choose, the people you choose to live with. We fall because of lack of management skill and leadership skill. We don't know where we are going, whom we are going to live with, who we are going to close with. Is this a Joshua or a Penina? Is this a Peter or a Judas? Is this an Elijah or a Cain? Is this a Jacob and Esau or a Daniel? This is life at 40.